Hello guys, thank you very much for joining me. Welcome back to our second segment of the day on Pip Valley. So we'll be doing our pre-market analysis for the first time of the month, and so we're going to start with the monthly analysis and then drop down to weekly and then to the daily chart. So if you haven't watched our Euro USD analysis, please just click on the link above where you'll be directed to the Euro USD analysis pair. So without wasting much of your time, let's get straight into our analysis. We'll be expecting three movements. We'll be expecting either movement to the sideways movements, the movement to the upside and the movement to the downside. We're going to start with the downside movement, right? So what you can notice is that the price, upon breaking this 15.26206 zone, it sought to retest it as a support zone, but unfortunately this zone didn't hold as a support zone, so the price broke it and then retested it now as a resistance zone, where it seemingly held as a resistance zone. So we'll be looking for the price to continue the movement to the downside. We can also notice that upon retesting this zone as a resistance zone, this price formed a reversal pattern, which is an evening star with a bearish pin bar. So we can anticipate that the price is going to continue movement to the downside. And the other thing to note is that the price also formed a lower high. So what we'll be expecting now in the coming week in terms of the bearish is that the price is going to break below this 14.58221, in the process forming a lower low, and then pull back to retest it as a resistance zone, in the process now forming a lower high. And after forming this lower high, we'll be expecting the price to move to the downside, maybe up to 13.90236. Then on the sideways now, what we can notice is that the price from here formed a higher high. Right after forming a higher high, it went on to form a lower low, and from this lower low it formed a higher high, and then formed a higher low and a lower high. So the price coming from a lower low going to a higher high and then forming a lower high after a higher low, we had said that it's indicative of price consolidation, right? So we'll be expecting the price to move sideways, right? So also, given that, we can notice that the price has been closing within the range of this December candle. So this means that the price is consolidating between 15.26206 and 14.58221 zone. So in the coming week, we are also expecting the price to continue moving the sideways, right, until the price either breaks to the downside or breaks to the upside. Right. Then the third scenario that we are anticipating is now the bullish scenario. So since we say that the price has been closing within the same range for the past 3 months, we're expecting that the price is going to form a reversal pattern here, then forming a double bottom here, and after forming this double bottom, the price is going to break above this 15.26206 and also breaking above the December high. And upon doing that, the price is going to pull back, right, to retest this 15.26206. And if this zone holds as a support zone, then the price is going to move to the upside. So these are the movements that we'll be expecting on the monthly chart. Now we move on to the weekly chart. We are more likely this week to expect this movement to the sideways, indicated by the fact that on the monthly chart we're saying that the price hasn't, since December, the price hasn't closed outside the December range. So what we'll be expecting is that the price is going to continue movement to the sideways. So we'll be expecting that here the price is going to be rejected of this support zone and then move and come here and then rejected also, and then the price moves down and rejected, and we continue moving sideways up until the price breaks either to the upside, breaking 15.62851, or it breaks to the downside where it will break 14.39096, or breaks to the downside where it is going to close below 14.39096. The absence of consistent higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower lows, it's indicative of the fact that the price may be consolidating. So hence we are expecting the price to move to the sideways for the coming weeks. Then the other scenario that we'll be expecting is now the bearish scenario. So the bearish scenario is now backed by the fact that we have had a general bearish trend, and also the fact that the price also broke our descending triangle, which means we'll be expecting the price to continue moving to the downside, right? So what we'll be expecting is that since the price, we have this, and since the price formed a lower high here, we'll be waiting for the price to break below 14.39096. If the price closed below this zone 14.39096 and pulls back to retest this zone as a resistance zone and it holds, we'll be expecting the price to continue to move to the downside for initially up to 13.56593. So we are saying that the price will initially move to 13.56593 because of this height of the triangle. We are measuring the price from this breakout up to this zone. So it will be 13.56593. That's our initial target for the movement to the downside. The other support for the bearish movement is that on this bearish trend, we had this first touch and this second touch, and now we had this third touch. So we're expecting that the bearish movement is likely to continue. And now we move on to the bullish trades. So on the bullish side, what we'll be expecting is that instead of the price breaking to the downside or breaking the 14.39096, it's going to break above 15.62851. So if the price forms a reversal pattern here and then comes and breaks 15.62851 and retest this zone as a support zone, and if this support zone holds, then we'll be expecting price to move to the upside, probably up to 17.69110. So these are the movements that we'll be expecting on the weekly chart. Now we move on to the daily chart. Okay, now on the daily chart, we are also expecting three movements. We are expecting movement to the upside, movement to the downside, and movement sideways. So because the price is still ranging between the December range, we expecting the price to continue this movements to the sideways. So what we'll be expecting in the coming week is that the price is going to form a reversal pattern here, and after forming a reversal pattern here, the price is going to move and seek to test this zone, and after testing this zone, it will move also downwards, and then so it will form movements to the sideways up until it breaks either the upside or the downside of our range. This sideways movements is also backed by the fact that it formed a gap where it formed also a higher high, and then from this higher high it came and formed a lower low. So from this we'll be expecting that the price is going to continue consolidating. So the consolidation will mean that the price will continue moving sideways. Then the other scenario that we'll be expecting is that the price may move to the downside, right? So movement to the downside, we're expecting that the price is going to break below 14.39281, right? And after breaking this one, the price is going to pull back to retest it and then move all the way to the downside to 13.39096. Then on the upside, what we'll be expecting now is that the price is going to reverse from here, and after reversing from here, it's going to break above this zone. There's a 15.64136, pull back to retest it as a support zone, and if it holds as a support zone, then we'll be expecting the price to move to the upside up to this zone. Okay, so these are the scenarios that we'll be expecting on the daily chart. So it's all about harmonizing the three time frames: the daily, weekly, and monthly time frames, and usually paying special respect to the higher time frames because it is the one that is usually more dominant than the lower time frames. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for the subscriptions that you have now gone to above 100. That now leaves me to say, manage your risk well, grind the markets with grit. Roy Machingura, out.